Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on Reno Taunt Warrior. This list is technically an update to a previous version of Taunt Warrior that existed before that didn't happen to have Reno, but with all of the new Reno cards added to Hearthstone as a whole, and in particular, where is he? The new Reno Lone Ranger, as well as the existing Reno or singleton payoffs like the OG Reno and old Zephyrus, there are enough Reno cards to run, as well as enough individually good taunt cards and taunt payoffs and the like, or just generally good cards, that you can run both the Reno cards and run all of the really interesting taunt cards that this deck would want to run, and all of its, glue cards. And the deck doesn't feel like it's really missing or lacking for necessarily anything. And if you want to be really technical, if you really liked a given card in this list and wanted to run two of and still get the effects from Reno, you could always hide it in the ETC, although we just have, general tech cards, which are fine cards. But this deck is honestly in a really, really good spot. Not only with the Fire Plume's Heart and the eventual Ragnarok shots, you have a great amount of power in the late game, but you also have, several sweepers and good board control and answers, and just, also the ability to, just beat your opponent up with your various taunt creatures. It's a really well-rounded deck, and I'm really, really proud of this. And it is one more deck in the Reno deck pile that will be eventually coming out over the near future on this channel in Hearthstone. Now, it won't be every single list back to back won't be Reno decks, but I have enough Reno decks that were, as you might have noticed, I have been trying to do a non-Reno deck and then a Reno deck, and then that on and off pattern. I've been trying to do that for a while now. So that's basically explains all of the depth of Reno cards, since Reno decks are in a really, really good spot right now. And who knows, maybe we might get even more, or another Reno card or Highlander card in the mini set, which would just add more strength to the Reno cards. But yeah, that is the basis of the deck. We want to just, play our quest on turn. There we go. Our quest on turn one, play loads of taunts and other little support cards to make sure, we can stay alive and keep gas and steam going, and we eventually, either the late game through Reno Lone Ranger hero powers or the Fire Plume's Heart Ragnarok shots in the late game, either one of those, on top of just all of our creatures, want to eventually turn turn the corner and just start bonking our opponents in the face. And that's all for the deck tech. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions, like I don't have X, what about Y, other than the Reno cards and the quest, basically just, run loads of taunt cards that you like and whatever glue cards you also happen to like. Anywho, with all of that out of the way, we'll go on to game number one. And game number one with our little Reno Taunt Warrior. And honestly, these are fine. You can make an argument that the our Megadillo is a little bit of a questionable keep just because it costs so much. But this deck is very much so a play one card and pass every turn and just hope that you get enough value and develop enough of a big board that you just eventually can weather whatever storm they're doing. Oh, well, that's not good. Yeah, I'm going to be responsible and coin first. That's why. We don't want to get our quest, oh my yogged. And the coin is not that relevant to what we're doing. Oh boy, Blur! Totally worth it. The deck has loads of things to do. We're not really that upset about losing the coin. If nothing else, we can always, what's his name? Asvedon on turn 3. And yeah, we'll just play some taunts and just slowly progress our quest. We don't need the hand buffs from the Armadillo that much, where we need to like really hoard cards in our hand. We'll get there eventually. We don't need to worry that much about it. Yeah, I think we'll play Asvedon and just get an Omayog, which should be the last spell he played, right? I could have hovered over that and it would have told me. Yeah. Just go face. Our opponent is clearly a more Silverhand recruity, like, dude paladin kind of deck. Huh. So we can really sort of rely on the fact that we just are a taunt deck. Why is that there? We can rely on the fact that we're a taunt deck to just give us the board we need, like the board state and the ability to deal with their board just by lieu of having taunts, and we can just, for the most part, just go face with the rest of it. Anywho, play a Treasure Guard. Another fine example of an okay taunt. And if you don't like Treasure Guard and you happen to like, you know, a different taunt minion, run it. The deck is really, really budget friendly. I just happen to like it. There's also a Ziliax in here, which helps. I see your Ziliax and raise you a Ziliax. And yeah, just largely keep ignoring it and going face. We're in a good spot. The next spell they happen to cast, because they're going to probably cast some spell at some point, will be generally messed with. They appear to be a pretty, like, fair, like, you know, just aggro deck that summons dudes. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play the Armadillo. Again, just go face with the rest of it. And yeah, we're only buffing a couple of cards, but, you know, it's progress for our quest, and, you know, it's fine. I was gonna say maybe they are some sort of, like, budgety thing, but, like, the Omayog's a weird one. But to be fair, they could just have had an Omayog floating around in their deck somewhere. It's very possible. Where are we at on the quest? 5 of 7. I think we're just going to hero power and play a scrap golem. We can always retain the Reno Lone Ranger for the board sweeper if we need to, if their board happens to get terribly large. But if we can just, you know, keep on playing our taunts and setting up our walls, I don't think we're going to need to, like, rush into that. Cool. Stonehill Defender, another lovely little taunt that basically replaces itself. It's Talon. Our opponent is doing things. I can't really, like... I'm running out of witty points to talk about. Just because, you know, we're just doing Taunt Warrior things. That might actually be a Blast Tortoise. We're going to kill enough of their board that, yeah, the Blast Tortoise is worth it. Granted, they're going to have a couple things left, but we'll take that. Yeah. He can... Yeah, because he can kill our little tortoise buddy, but, you know, we're kind of okay with that, if we're going to be honest. Okay. Which ones are these? Well, that kind of sucks. That's not really that bad, like, upon further reflection. Do I care? What are the other ones? 2 other minions, +2/+2. Yeah, let's just see if they're gonna play those minions they drew. Honestly, yeah, Backstage Bouncer is pretty good. Come on. Just 2 big bodies. Also play a Pack Mule. Yeah, he can tighten down one of the the stats of a minion, but like we're in a good spot. Like feeling very firmly in the driver's seat. Oh, it's all minions. Okay. My point still largely remains the same. I thought it was a minion. But reading the card explains the card, so what are you gonna do? Okay. That's a pretty good one. Let's see what we have in the bottom here. A Badlands Brawler would be very nice. So we can actually use one of our taunts for that reason. Actually, we could always Magatha here, and at most go up to 9 cards. So I think we'll do that. Magatha in this deck has been fantastic since almost all of the deck is minions. It's usually just a 5-mana draw 5. Like, yeah, sometimes you lose some stuff, but like, it's an okay trade to make. Sure, Omega Defender, why not? And again, Frightened Flunky, another one of those lovely little taunt minions that basically replaces itself with a deck, or sorry, with a keyword that your deck just wants a lot of. As you can see, we're at a really good spot. Okay, now we might, depending on if they do anything else. Their board is sufficiently large that I'm a smidge scared. Are we going to play the Reno? We sure shit are now. Yep, definitely are now. That's fine. Order, I would say order lull, but it's not going to matter in a second. Yeah. Go ahead and Reno. See what we can find. Or what we get off of our first hero power. Yeah, we're doing good. And of course, because Reno is Reno, we actually have a good turn to breathe here. We don't need to like be as scared, and I don't think we need to like rush into swapping our hero power again, which is nice. So I think, what are we gonna do here? Yeah, I think we're gonna Detonation Juggernaut into an Omega Defender. I guess we'll just send the hero power face. Yeah, and again, feeling I'm kind of a broken record here, but I really, really love this deck. This is one of those decks if you were really looking to get into Wild and you just had a load of cards and a load of money or dust or whatever, and you were looking for like a really, really safe craft that isn't like a super popular meta deck or some combo thing. Like, I would sincerely like recommend this deck. This is one of the better decks that I've made, and I'm like really proud of it. Which might sound silly, but yeah, who cares? Have I seen duplicates? I think that card two's a duplicate, so I don't think it's Reno. Sure. Or we could Sword Eater. That actually is pretty good. In that case, we will do a Nature Bullet. Just so you can draw. That's hilarious, but we're not doing it. Warpath is actually pretty good. Is that what I want to do? Yeah. Oh, if he, if that is a... Oh my god, yeah. Do I get the warp? Do I get the echoed copy? Even if it is? I don't. Okay. I'm okay with missing that. I was in the tank for too long. That's good to know, though. The spell has to go off for the echo to, like, trigger, and we get the extra copies. Yeah, we're good, man. Yeah, this is awesome. You don't even have to, like, necessarily use Sulfuras if we don't want to. And, like, yeah, they have a ooh la la big scary board. But I kind of don't need to care. Like, I think we just start bonking the taunts that are going to come back. Yeah, I guess we just, yeah, Badlands Brawler. Granted, because I do have an Excavate Warrior that you will see at some point in the near future. So we don't get to make use of the Brawler's like second line, but it's not bad. Still, it's just like an additional copy of Brawl on a body. What else do we want, if anything? I guess we can do you and maybe just a Talon? Yeah. I love all of the like choices and like how every game like you can really like even while playing the same cards, each individual okay, they're definitely not Reno, that's the second hydrologist for certain. But this deck affords you so many options and like different play patterns that like even though you're playing the same deck and the same cards, that like very few games look like that similar to one another, and that's an awesome feeling to have. I guess we can go face here. Well, nah, let's be safe. I want to be cute, but we shouldn't. In that case, we'll just Arcane Bullet down what we can. Probably just play a Scrapyard Colossus. I guess they could have technically gotten another Oh My Yogg out of the Hydrologist. But, like, I don't think our opponent's board is at a scary enough space where we need to worry about the Brawl. Like, okay. Oh, fuck me. I have, Eater of Secrets. I don't even have to worry about that. Is there some Death Rattle combo in Paladin I'm not thinking about? Because that's the only thing I can surmise. Oh well, we'll find out. Yeah, I think we will actually. ETC and get rid of that secret. Since, you know, I'm not going to really have much use for anything else. Bow, bow. Galloping Savior. Okay, that's a choice. Yeah, we'll do the Powderman. Why not? And trade into the Baron Rivendare, since we don't want whatever weird shenanigans they're doing to pop off. They are ahead of us on fatigue, but I don't think that's going to terribly matter in the end. And I'm actually happy to have... I actually want the Albatrosses, weirdly. Yeah. They're doing things. It has to be said. Do they have no spells in their deck? Or is, besides, like, their Oh My Yogg? Destroy effects count for that, right? How much armor do I gain? 4 armor, so that wouldn't even... No, we can honorably kill it, legit. Then we just trade Eater into him. Nixie and Drake. Down the big guy. Oh, right, it does mess up my Reno, but I don't think I care. And I guess we just play the Dirty Rat while it's free. Same thing with the Deathlord. I'd be very, very surprised if they have the ability to, like, combo kill me out of nowhere. And if we get really low from the fatigue, like, we do just have the OG Reno, and we can eventually just play him. Our opponent is doing things, and to their credit, they're still in the game. That is almost certainly naming creature. Yeah, that was a snap pick. Correctly is naming, what's the word? Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, almost certainly named creature was my point. Like, that messed my brain up. I apologize. So in that case, I can shadow bullet down. Oh, right, I'm not going to be able to. I have to kill it beforehand, don't I? Sure. What is that? Do I have beast? I don't think I have any beast left over. Anywho, do the scale brute. And now we just, I think, turn on the aggression. Our opponent having, like, just one big dude a turn, I don't think it's going to get them through this. To the point where next turn, I think we're going to actually turn on Sulfuros and switch our hero power to rag shots. Since we're threatening lethal. I think we still are, actually. Which is rather nice. Okay. I think our opponent lives. They might not even live. Do I have... Oh, yeah, they don't. I guaranteed have lethal. Yeah, that's not even close. Boop. 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 Face with the rest. I was overthinking it. There we go. Since the Reno Taunt Warrior list that you're watching right now, the games are a little long, depending on how long the games happen to go. This might just be a 2-game video, where normally I would do 3, but that's more so because the average Hearthstone deck that I make will usually make like 3 games, and the deck tech will usually make like a 30 to 40 minute video, and at this rate it's only 2 games and the deck tech are going to be needed to meet that like rough little self-imposed guideline. But we'll see. It's one of those. But if there's only 2 games, that's the reason why. As opposed to the normal reason why usually it's a time-related thing. Now it's just because the deck takes forever. Anywho, on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little Reno Taunt Warrior. This is fantastic. We have a curve, so we're going to keep it all day long. I will say, and this is kind of an obvious statement if you understand card games, if our opponent is running some what's the... I'm just going to call it Time Walk, even if that isn't what it's called. Some, like, Time Walk, one-hit turn kill combo thing, then this deck can lose. But if it's anything else, honestly, we're in a pretty good spot. Anywho, quest on turn 1, like always. It is nice to always have a turn 1, it has to be said. Especially in a slower deck like this that doesn't necessarily need, like, the tempo and the aggression that comes from hitting things on curve. This deck can afford to take a turn off and be okay. Turn 2, play the Powder Man, which is fantastic on turn 2, just because you're going to get the most value out of its death rattle that I think that you can really practically hope for. He says before it gets devolved. But I maintain my initial theory. Pardon the burps. Yeah, I think I'm going to coin out the Sword Eater and then just save the weapon for removal and just go face with the rest. As a sweet cat falls down from a nap in the background. Now, let's see what our opponent's doing. Okay. My opponent has told me nothing that would inform me as to what he's running. Or they're running, let's not be rude. So I guess we'll just play a Lava Gorger. And in moments like this deck is very good about... Yeah, we'll do From the Depths. In moments like this deck is really good about not necessarily needing to know what your opponent's doing, because you're pretty linear and self-focused as a deck, where most of your interaction comes from like deciding what board states need to be interacted with and what can be ignored. Where certain decks could in theory require a greater knowledge of, or a greater understanding of what the meta is. This deck is not that. Yeah, 100% From the Depths. I didn't think about that. honestly, that's better than if, in theory, like a brawl got countered. I had totally blanked the fact that they had played a secret. Totally fine. Not required for our game plan. It does kind of suck. I will be honest that Magatha, I think, is on the actual bottom. Oh, was it Secret Mage and it just had like a god-awful draw? Okay. I don't... When's the last time I've seen a Secret Mage? I might be wrong because I don't, like, hard track down every matchup a deck goes against, but in the last couple of weeks of testing, I don't remember having seen a Secret Mage. Anywho, go ahead and play the Armagadillo. Again, just a big body. No point in trading in to the bartender right now. We can't really kill it. So I'm just going to do what I can to, like, translate that to damage in the face. I do actually... Okay, so yeah, it is Secret Mage. It just had a weird draw. So we're in a really good spot now. Because once I find... what's the... my ETC here, I do have an Eater of Secrets, provided it can, you know, do something. We'll do the Battle Pickaxe and just a Treasure Guard. If they have, like, an objection, like, okay, what are you gonna do? Huh. What do I trade into? I'm gonna say the Orion, but that might be wrong. Okay. Because if it's like a duplicate, that would really suck. Effigies of... Pardon? That's fantastic. Yeah, play your secret payoffs now. Okay. It's not bad. Forgot that card existed. Why? Why elementals also? I mean, okay, that's cool. Let's not be rude. Our opponent is doing things. Now that I think about it, I don't think that there's a secret that stops hero cards from being played. Yeah. So this will be a good board wipe that I can, like, play almost regardless of the circumstance. I think we'll play a Frightened Flunky first and just see what we find. It's very funny. But it's not good, is it? Yeah, weirdly, I want the Lava Gorger. And I would very much like that Magatha that I know was on the bottom. There are weird moments, it has to be said. And yeah, Magatha all day long. I want card draw, please. Where there are weird moments where you will have to, like, break a Sulfuras. Or you have to use a Sulfuras to break a really high durability Battle Pickaxe. But, like, it's a good problem to have, so... we take it. Yeah. Just get rid of their secret payoff stuff. I actually want them to keep their disciplinarian here. It's after you play it. I mean, that fucking sucks to lose my card draw, but, like, I'm okay. It's, like, fine. Okay. Gonna go face. I think we're just gonna play a Zephyrus to get rid of the Mutanus. How is it? Oh, fuck me! I forgot it's a Murloc and Hungry Crab exist! Get the fuck out of here! Awesome. Then we'll just play the Sulfuras and start shooting our opponent with rag shots. That's awesome. I totally forgot it. That's fantastic. Sweetheart, that's why you gotta sleep in a different spot. You adorable little spaz ball of a cat. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let's see where this goes. Because if it goes face, I just kill him. It's not face, sadly. In that case, I think we just ignore the rag. We'll play a Talon, but just go face with everything else. I mean, yeah, even if the rag shot, yeah, if the rag shot goes face, we're fine. We have enough health. If he doesn't address my board, I'm almost certain that's okay. That's kind of addressing it. Fallen hero. Okay. Popping the shield, maybe he gets a good hit. That has to be an ice block. That's the only reason why you would play that turn. In that case, Eater of Secrets. Never good enough to run in your main deck, but okay in a sideboard. It was Counterspell? Okay, bop, bop, bop. Let's see if we get lucky. No. Okay, that's not bad. And, yeah, for the most part, I did hint to it last game that I think we will keep this as a 2-game video. It's one of those. But honestly, like, this is pretty good. I think the deck has done a really good job of showing, like, why the deck is really good. I would 1000% recommend this deck. And I really think this deck has, like, staying power to stay relevant for, like, probably years, honestly. The core cards, unless some of them get changed massively, like, it's that good that I don't think you have to, like, be concerned about any sort of changes to the deck, barring bans or, like, nerfs of some description. Yeah, this is honestly one of the better decks I've ever made in Hearthstone. I really, really like it, and I hope you do too. Now, with all of that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, sub if you like me and want to see more of me in the future. And if you have any sort of questions, you know, or anything nice to say down in the comments down below, I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. Thank you all. Be nice, be kind, don't be a jerk. All that stuff. Bye-bye.